Hi, I'm Jennifer Lepore, Online Education Manager here at ArtistsNetwork TV, and we've got with us here in the studio Nita Leland. Nita's been working with us on two videos. One is on creativity and the other is on collage. So thank you so much for being here today, Nita.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. And we wanted everybody to get a feel for what makes you tick, the kind of behind the scenes of how you came to be where you are here with your art, and kind of just wanted to get started asking you how you got started painting and how you got started teaching, because I know you do a lot of that as well.
Well, I was 37 years old. I was raising 4 children, and my husband gave me a set of watercolor paints for my birthday because he thought I needed a hobby.
Nice.
I needed a hobby with 4 children. But I was looking for something different to be doing in my life, and so I started taking a hobby class at the YMCA, and I knew from the very first time I picked up a brush that this was what I wanted to do. I was very fortunate that watercolor was my compatible medium, and I felt comfortable with it and loved doing it. I was, in fact, so obsessed by it that I painted every day when the kids were in school. And as a result, it was only a couple of years after I started painting that I began teaching. And I found through the years, very early on, that this was where my passion was. Along with painting, my passion was helping others to learn and to find their own creativity, to help them the skills and get the confidence to do what they wanted to do, to believe that they could do it.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense with what we've had here. I know everyone that's come in to be with us and visit and see how things are running during these videos, they've all been really motivated by just watching what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm glad that you're a teacher of that.
Well, motivation is the key. You have to want to do it, but first you have to believe you can.
And how are you able to keep that going in your own life, in your own work?
My focus has changed greatly because along with the teaching, it was a matter of just a few years that I began to specialize in color and was teaching color workshops. And in 1983, I decided I wanted a computer. And I didn't really have a reason to buy a computer. And when I bought it, I felt very guilty because I didn't have a project, so I outlined one of my color classes. And as soon as I printed it out, I knew it was a book, and so I wrote the book and sent it to Northlight, and I've been published by Northlight Books since 1985, and number 7 is coming out in September.
Awesome. So really, creativity for you is crossing beyond even just the painting, and now it's into teaching and giving others that same feeling that you have.
Yeah, teaching and writing, and then presenting. I do many, many workshops and talks and that sort of thing around the U.S. and Canada, and it's very fulfilling because, and especially now that we have the internet, email, and ways for people to get in touch with me and tell me how they're using my books and how they have helped them to achieve their goals as artists.
And I know that in one of the videos there was a drawing that I don't know if it was your daughter or your granddaughter had done that was a real gestural type of creativity exercise. It must have been in the creativity video.
It was.
So are you involving them in your art too?
Well, I got a large pad, 18 by 24 pad, opened it up the full width, and I worked on one end and she worked on the other end. And the thing that was so interesting about it was that I was doing scribbles and spirals. She had started out just doing little marks. And before the day was over, she was making the same movements that I was making on her side of the paper. And it was very exciting to see that rhythm and that action going on in such a young child.
That is really neat. So what else are you working on? Do you do any sort of, we did like a lot of, like I said, collage and creativity, and it seemed like mainly you work in media that's like water media, work a lot with acrylics and with watercolor. Do you do any other mediums in your work?
Well, I have to say that my first love is still watercolor. Okay. I have a passion for it, but in recent years I think I got my first digital camera in 1996, and I started photographing seriously in 2000 and photographing wildflowers, and so I did that in several states. to teach myself photography, but also to teach myself better composition in art. And this has been very satisfying. And so right now, there is kind of a focus, kind of a shift going over into photography. But I do find that when I work with photography and go back into my painting, I'm so much more aware of composition and design and that sort of thing. And so the two just kind of complement each other.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I know that everyone is going to enjoy your videos, and I know I have. And I just wanted to let people know to be sure to go to northlightshop.com and make sure to look for your other videos that you've done with us. You had a previous one on color,
Yeah.
and you did do one on paper collage as
Right.
well, so those are available as well for people to see. So thanks for being here, and
Well,
we hope to
thanks for
see you
having
again
me.
in the future.
I'll be back.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.